Stays know all too well what it's like trying to solve a puzzle with just a few pieces. But even so, the lead up to Astonauts' release was something beyond that. We're piecing it all together as we look back at the days leading up to Chance Room episode 44 this week. It's November 2019, and the past 6 weeks have been a blur for a lot of reasons. The amount of confusion Stays have felt really can't be overstated, and things aren't about to get any better for them either. 6 weeks ago, Stray Kids dropped their announcement titled The Final Piece 2019, which gave Stays dates for Double Knot, Astronaut, the first stop on their District 9 Unlock World Tour, and Clay Levanter. The World Tour was self-explanatory, but the rest, not so much. Stays have always considered themselves clowns, and this era was no different. A lot of people assumed correctly that Double Knot and Astronaut would be singles, and Clay Levanter the name of an album, but even those people lacked total certainty. Speculation about Double Knot had turned out to be right, and now promo for that had been put to bed. Stays were expecting something similar for Astronaut too. But as the days rolled closer to its alleged release date, there was nothing but crickets from Stray Kids' official accounts. Stays were confused, expecting a new song that had last been teased 6 weeks ago to drop out of the sky. But instead of an entire song dropping on the 9th, Stays got Astronaut's prologue video, which provided the real date of its release, November 14th. It's safe to bet now that Astronaut's release date was shifted along with many other things from this era, but it came with no explanation at the time. Stays were surprised by this turn of events, but settled in for the coming reveals that were on the way all the same. There were teaser images and the prologue video for Stray Kids lore enthusiasts to comb over, and also an updated track list, featuring Double Knot as the second track for Levanter and Astronaut as the fifth. This track list also included a new installment of the story being woven by Stray Kids, saying, quote, "At that happy time when we were able to do anything because we were together, we chatted and laughed in that place without worries until the morning moon rose. Suddenly, we saw a marble we had never seen before to one side. What was it? When we came close to it, we heard an unfamiliar sound from somewhere. As the sound ended, a familiar voice called my name faintly. Before I knew it, my body became drawn towards the sound." Leaving Stays to chew over the mysteries trailing behind them, Stray Kids were off to perform at KAMP Singapore, an event that was pretty par for the course at the time, but this kicked off a string of firsts for them as OT8. Stays had seen Stray Kids together in Chance Room episode 43 just days before, but their arrival at the airport on their way to Singapore marked their first public appearance together after becoming 8. And Stray Kids' first stage performance as 8 came with just a few short weeks of preparation, in which they managed to redistribute lines, redo backing tracks, and adjust choreography for a setlist of 9 songs, all while grappling with the seismic change that had hit them. This was a massive undertaking, and one that we'll never know the true scale of, especially because Stray Kids are consummate performers. Our kids are highly trained, incredibly talented professionals, and that is who we see hit the stage in Singapore. One thing that we do know for certain, though, is that Stay's support at this time was invaluable to Stray Kids. They lean into the energy exchange between Stray Kids and Stay in normal circumstances, but you can bet that the support and love they found here was precious fuel that propelled them forward. So, Stays had a nice commercial break built into this week, where they could just love, adore, and support Stray Kids in real time. But Jong-in pulled them right back into a haze of confusion when he posted a video to Instagram of Han and Chan pretending to float in zero gravity on their plane ride home, and then deleted it just as quickly. Why? We'll just add it to the list of things we may never know. Finally, the 14th rolled around. Stays were hyped and ready to stream a new song. The Astronaut music video dropped, and while Stays in Korea enjoyed streaming the song on local platforms, iStays were left waiting for it to hit worldwide. They were waiting for a drop that never came. It turns out Astronaut's single wasn't released on international platforms, but those obsessively refreshing Stray Kids' Apple Music and Spotify profiles noticed something odd. A Double Knot remix had appeared out of the blue across platforms. But that's not even the most confusing part. Aside from a few extra seconds of static, it was the exact same song. So while there was no new single to stream, a fresh mystery emerged. Investigative Stays unearthed strange licensing ties to companies unrelated to Stray Kids on this new Double Knot remix, and while rumors were taking off of its existence to begin with, these clever Stays tried to sound the alarm that it might all be a scam. While many Stays were scrambling to piece together all of these puzzles, others had to ignore the chaos completely, because on the day of Astonauts' release, students in Korea were taking their CSATs, a notoriously intense 8-hour national-level exam. Those hardworking stays had to catch up with Chan's Room episode 44 as well because he went live while they were still toiling away. But of course, our Channy left them a message to come back to after their exams were over. And what is Chan's Room really, if not a string of messages left for stays to come back to, scattered across time and space like 208 unique stars in the sky? We walk along Stray Kids on two timelines here, and sometimes those paths converge. In the here and now, we're gearing up to see the kids perform at their Dominate tour stop in Singapore. And in our time travel timeline, Chan will have already made it home from Singapore when we join him for episode 44. There are still puzzle pieces we struggle to fit together in the here and now, but when we look back and see the journey Stray Kids and Stay have taken through hardship to arrive amongst the stars, there's a little less frustration and more trust that no matter what happens, we work out. That's one more reason we'll be here this Sunday, September 29th at 11 p.m. KST to rewatch Chan's Room episode 44 together, to gather the messages Chan left for us there and carry them forward into our shared future together. I'll see you then.